everybody. So this is just going to be a quick video. I'm going to pause it for just a minute. Well, I'll just stop recording, but I'm going to get up here and get all of my May books down and go through them. This is the last, I have like a week and just a couple of days left. So I'm going to pick out that many books, plus the two that I am currently reading. Sorry, I hit the camera. And I'm going to get that many books out, and that I'm going to take just like 10 books. I'm going to narrow it down to 10 books, and then I'm putting everything back on the shelves. I'm going to start June with just a clean slate. Just the books that I have pulled to read for June are going to go on my TBR. I'm putting everything back up, and so I'm going to take all of the books that are currently on here, and I'm going to try to narrow it down, and like I said, just pull 10, because there are currently about 20 books sitting up here to be read for still my May TBR, and I've just been rolling them over and rolling them over and rolling them over, and there are some that I really want to get read before May ends, and I still may not get them finished, but I want to start June clean. I don't want any rollovers, and I know I have some that I've had on my TBR since January, and I'm going to have to read them before the end of the year because they are a 52 book, and I mean, it's just going to have to be read. But if I just get it off my shelf and put it up and don't look at it for a couple days or a couple months, maybe then I can go back, because I'm still reading one of the books that I need to finish. So welcome back to my channel. My name is Beth, and I'm so glad you could join me. So let me pull the books down and let's go through them. Okay, so let's start with the stack that I have in my hands. I am keeping the Mary Shelley Reader on my May TBR, because this is Mary Shelley May, and these are letters, and there are stories in here. So, and that was recommended. It was highly recommended. And I am going to keep the Mary Shelley biography on here by Muriel Spark. Okay, so those two are definitely staying on my TBR. I am putting up A Court of Thorns and Roses. It can be read another time. I am putting up Far from the Madding Crowd. Even though I really want to read it, and I have an audiobook for it, it can be pulled another time, and I can listen to the audiobook later. I am going to go ahead and put up Before I Let Go. I have several romance books on my TBR that I want to get to first, and Kennedy Ryan keeps me up at night when I start her books. I get no sleep. So I have to be ready to deal with that. And that's just how her writing it does to me. I can't stop when I start. So I'm just not ready for it right now. Okay? So I'm putting it up right now. All right. This book I have started. I started it when I first got it, but I'm going to put it up. I want to read it, but it's just going to be a while. Chain of Thorns by Cassandra Clare. If my niece ever sees this, this is going to be the one she recommends me, and she's going to say, read it now. I'm putting it up because I'm just not ready to finish this series, and because I know when I finish the series, it's saying goodbye to it. So, not as of yet. Okay. This one I am putting up until I at least finish House of Sky and Breath reread. And I am working my way through it, slowly. But this is going to be put back on my shelf until I finish that one. And maybe I can finish it by the end of May and it'll go on my July TBR. But we'll just have to wait and see. But I have to quit looking at it because it is set on my shelf since January. All right. Now, at this point, I'm not going to read Maurice by Mary Shelley. I'm going to pull it at another time. I still want to read it this year, maybe in July, maybe in August. But I'm not going to keep it on my shelf because I can't read all the books that I need to read this month and that too. Okay. Even though I have the audiobook for this, I'm not ready for a Christine Hanna, so I'm going to put The Four Winds back on my shelf until another time. I have a couple of Christine Hannas, and I'm just not ready for this drama. I do love her writing. It is very, it pulls you in and it captures your heart, but like I said, I have too many right now that I want to read. So this is a friend recommends. This one is staying on my shelf, on my TBR. Killers of the Flower Moon by David Grann. This is the Osage Murders and the Birth of the FBI. This one is staying on my TBR. Mercury by Amy Jo Burns. This one is not going to stay on my TBR right now. Happily Never After was supposed to be a Patreon read with Kindle Patreon, and I did not get to read it with them, but I do want to read this. This is one of the romance books that I do want to read, so it is going to stay on my TBR. The other romance that I really want to keep is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez, because in June I want to read the romance by, I don't have it in here. It's the other big romance author everybody loves, and I love her too. And I can't think of her name right now. If anybody likes her that's watching, they are screaming at me right now. This was supposed to be a buddy read. I'm going to keep it on here for now, but if I don't get to it, then it will have to go back on my shelf. I just can't roll it over again. But it was supposed to be a buddy read with my friend Chris a few months ago. She read it. I did not. I failed. But it's The Book Thief, and I do really want to read this. But if I don't get it picked up, it's going to have to go back on my shelf, and I'll have to pick it up in July or another month. This is another friend pick. I'm going to go ahead and pull this out because I want to get all these in here. And so this is At Home in Mitford. I want to do my best to get this one picked. If not, maybe it'll come up again and I can just stick her name back in the wheel. This one I am currently reading. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8. I'm not going to count the 2 I'm currently reading because I've already started and I'm almost halfway through this one. This is my book with a place in the title for this month. I am currently reading this. I am on chapter 10, I believe. Yes. The Premonition at Wither's Farm. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the shelf because I'm listening to it. Not on the shelf back there, on my shelf up here, you know, my TBR shelf. So, but I'm not counting it, so I still only have 8. And I'm not going to count the other one that I'm currently reading either. So, I still only have 8. But because this one has already been started and I'm a good bit of the way through it. Yes, I know what other 2 I'm going to keep. So this is one of the other ones I'm going to keep, Local Woman Missing by Mary Kubica. And this is one that a favorite author of mine has blurbed, and this was blurbed by Riley Sager. Riley Sager is one of my top tier authors. I'm keeping that one on there. I'm going to put, I didn't even show you what that one was, the Home Place back. That's recommended by Miss Bowling, and I'll have to get to it another time. Guys, I have just tried to pull too many things and try to read too many books. The Love Wager by Lynn Painter. I've already got one Lynn Painter on here that I really want to get to. So I'm going to put this one back, and then I can try to read this one another month. The Dead Romantics. It's going back on my shelf. I know it is supposed to be a superb read, but it's just going to have to wait. Tuesdays with Maury. It's just a very small book, but it's going to have to wait as well, because these other ones, I really want to get to them first. You know, you have to make priorities. Okay, this is another friend pick, but it was also read the oldest living author on your TBR, and I believe Mr. King is that. We're going with Mr. Mercedes. This was a sister pick, and this has got Bill Hodges in it, and it also has Holly in it. Holly, it makes an appearance, and that's where Mr. King really, that's the character he really liked. I'm putting this one back on the shelf. I have just purchased it recently because I've read the first one. This is Rita sequel, and it was The Man Who Died Twice. It is a sequel. I looked at buying the last one the third one yesterday, but I didn't get it. And I'm going to show you this side because this is the other one that I'm reading. My wax for my diamond painting is stuck to it. And this is The Fury by Alex Michaelides. I am currently on page 9. I am physically reading this one, and I'm not counting this one because it is not going on my shelf. It's staying on my desk as, but the Jamie Jo Wright book is not. So that is what I'm going to keep down here for now, and the others are going up. And so I just cut them in half, so I was not looking at that massive amount of books on my TBR thinking, I'm never going to get all them read. I'm never going to get all them read, because it was freaking me out. And so these are the ones that I really want to read. So the next one I'm going to pull down is probably the Mary Shelley Reader, because I want to read another Mary Shelley book for Mary Shelley May. And then I'm going to start reading some of the romance and stuff. And since I'm home pretty much all day and can read, I should be able to knock some books out left and right. Last June and July, I was able to read like 20 books each month. And I don't want to read them that fast anymore because I want to enjoy my books. But that is what I'm looking at. With the Fury, I'll hold them up without the Fury, but there they are. There's some thick old boys in there. I read romance generally faster, and I'm hoping I can get some checked out of the library as far as audiobooks. If not, I have some credits on Audible, and I also have Scribd. So anyway, that is all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. And if you want to see more from me, be sure to click that subscribe button down below. And I'll see you in the next video.